In the beginning, a teenage boy, Shaoya Ishida, is shown. He is about to jump from a bridge planning to end his life. While standing at the corner, he has a change of mind at the last minute. And slowly he backs up and walks away, vowing to fix all the loose ends. We see his backstory when we see Shaoya Ishida as a 6th grade student in elementary school. In the same class, a girl student named Shako Nishimiya is a newcomer who joins the class, and that girl is deaf and also cannot speak. She uses a notebook to communicate, and she introduces herself to the class by writing in the same notebook. She informs the others that she can't speak nor listen, and she will use the notebook or sign language to communicate with everyone. Other students get near her and also write in the notebook to introduce themselves. Later in the break time, Shako Nishimiya tries to make friends, but others avoid her. She also tries to befriend Shaoya Ishida. She approaches him and talks to him in sign language, asking him to be her friend. Shaoya Ishida disregards her by calling her weird and leaves from there. The next day in class, the teacher advised the students to learn sign language so they can connect better with Shako Nishimiya. But only one girl, Miyoko Sahara, show any will of learning sign language and befriending Shako Nishimiya. Miyoko Sahara and Shako Nishimiya become her friends. She is her only friend. Miyoko Sahara is absent one day. Shaoya Ishida and his friends start to annoy Shako Nishimiya and write bad things about her on the board. Shako Nishimiya, due to her condition and having no friends, become an easy target for Shaoya Ishida and his friends to bully. Among others, especially Shaoya Ishida starts to pick on her in one way or another. One day he pulls her hearing aids out of her ears, causing her ears to bleed. Later that day, when Shaoya Ishida is going home, she approaches him and talks to him in sign language. She people to him that they become friends. Shaoya Ishida is weirded by her behavior and gets angry. He throws the notebook she uses to communicate into a nearby fountain, and she enters the fountain to get it. She becomes a laughingstock of Shaoya Ishida. Shako Nishimiya's mother finds out about the bullying, and she complains to the principal. The principal arrive at the class the next day and inform the class that Shako Nishimiya's mother complained about her being bullied. He asked the class to tell the name of the culprit who was bullying Shako Nishimiya. Shaoya Ishida is made the scapegoat, despite the varying levels of culpability that others have had in torturing her. Shaoya Ishida is singled out as the culprit by his teacher and friends, resulting in the class's bullying becoming directed toward him. Later, when he goes home, his mother, Miyako Ishida, scolds him as she learned about him bullying the deaf girl. Miyako Ishida goes to meet Shako Nishimiya's mother and apologizes for her son's behavior, and she warns Shaoya Ishida to behave. The following days at school, Shaoya Ishida sees the treatment he used to treat Shako Nishimiya, and his friends leave him and he is isolated and singled out. Shaoya Ishida blames Shako Nishimiya for his current situation, and he pushes her. Shako Nishimiya also gets angry and the two get into a fight. Shako Nishimiya is subsequently transferred to another school, and the next day teacher announces this in the class, and Shaoya Ishida keeps a notebook Shako Nishimiya left behind. He is heartlessly ostracized all throughout elementary and middle school, while teachers turn a blind eye. He comes to the conclusion that there is really no point in having friends. The scene then shifts to the present, where everyone has been promoted to high school. Being an outcast throughout the middle school for his reputation as a bully, Shaoya Ishida, even now in high school, is a depressed loner who is unable to look others in the eyes. He cannot see people's faces and envisions an X mark on people's faces. In the back of his mind, he always feels guilty for how he treated Shako Nishimiya and is still haunted by his wrongdoings as a young boy. In the hope to redeem himself, he has also started to learn sign language, and one day while going to his sign language class, he happened to see Shako Nishimiya. To wrap up his loose ends, Shaoya Ishida decides to return Shako Nishimiya's notebook, which he kept with himself. He goes to the sign language center to return the notebook. He asks if she remembers him, and she tells him she does. He returns the notebook and Shako Nishimiya starts to cry. Shaoya Ishida apologizes, but panics and asks to be friends instead. Shako Nishimiya accepts his offer, leading Shaoya Ishida to endeavor to make up for his bullying Shako Nishimiya. The next morning, Shaoya Ishida is having breakfast with his family. His mother, who found out about his attempted suicide, was shouting at him. She found out because he had sold all things in his room, and the calendar in his room was missing dates after the 15th of April. Miyako Ishida, after seeing the evidence, realized that he was planning to commit suicide. He apologizes to his mother and says that he will not do anything stupid like that again. In school, he continued to see an X mark on everyone's face, as he did not want to talk to anyone and liked to be alone, so he blocked people off from his mind. During lunchtime, his mind is occupied by the thought of how he should meet Shako Nishimiya the next day. Shaoya Ishida, while reaching the school, sees a classmate, Tomohiro Nagatsuka, another loner, being bullied by a boy who is asking him to give his bike, and Tomohiro Nagatsuka asks him for his help. Xiaoya Ishida goes near them and gives him his own bike in place of Tomohiro Nagatsuka. Tomohiro Nagatsuka wants to befriend Xiaoya Ishida after he protects him from the bully. After school, Xiaoya Ishida buys bread and goes to meet Shouko Nishimiya. There he finds a boy named Yuzuru Nishimiya with Shouko Nishimiya, who does not let him near Shouko Nishimiya, and sends him away. Yuzuru Nishimiya is actually not a boy but Shouko Nishimiya's sister who is currently in middle school. She is often mistaken for a boy because she cut her hair short. In the evening while returning home, Xiaoya Ishida meets Tomohiro Nagatsuka who has come to return his bike that he found thrown in a nearby field. When Tomohiro Nagatsuka returns his bike, the X mark on his face is removed, meaning that Xiaoya Ishida now accepts him as a friend. Xiaoya Ishida again goes to meet up with Shouko Nishimiya and buys bread again. There Yuzuru Nishimiya tells him that she is Shouko Nishimiya's boyfriend, and Xiaoya Ishida, who thinks he is a boy, believes this. Tomohiro Nagatsuka comes there and he starts to fight with Yuzuru Nishimiya. Shouko Nishimiya sees Xiaoya Ishida and starts to follow him, and they chat at a bridge. Xiaoya Ishida accidentally drops the notebook into a river. She jumps in to get the note back and he jumps in behind her to save her. Swimming in the river is prohibited. Xiaoya Ishida finds the notebook and he also saves Shouko Nishimiya. While going away, Shouko Ishida tells her they will meet again in sign language. Yuzuru Nishimiya, Shouko Nishimiya's younger sister, had clicked the pic of Xiaoya Ishida while he was jumping in and she uploaded it online to get revenge on him. Eventually, the pic circulates and reaches the principal of Xiaoya Ishida's school, which leads to Xiaoya Ishida getting suspended for a week. Xiaoya Ishida is in the park with his niece. He finds Yuzuru Nishimiya in the park who has ran away from home. Yuzuru Nishimiya tells him that she was the one who uploaded his pic online. Xiaoya Ishida does not get angry and brings her to stay at his house. He gives her dinner, and when in the middle of the night he was sleeping and she leaves without telling him, Xiaoya Ishida follows, and the two make up and become friends. Xiaoya Ishida and Shouko Nishimiya reunite with Miyoko Sahara, a classmate from elementary school who was friendly to Shouko Nishimiya. Shouko Nishimiya later gives Xiaoya Ishida a gift and confesses her feelings for him, but because she tries to speak her affections rather than signing them out, Xiaoya Ishida mishears her. Xiaoya Ishida invites Shouko Nishimiya to an amusement park with Tomohiro Nagatsuka, Miyoko, Miki Kawai, another classmate from elementary school, and Satoshi Mashiba, Miki's friend. There, they are joined by another classmate from elementary school, Naoka Umino, who had also bullied Shouko Nishimiya alongside Xiaoya Ishida, who drags Shouko Nishimiya into a Ferris wheel. Naoka voices her feelings of hatred for Shouko Nishimiya, blaming her for creating a rift between her and Xiaoya Ishida, with whom she is infatuated. Yuzuru Nishimiya, who had been secretly recording the encounter, shows this video to Xiaoya Ishida. Desperate to remain blameless for her part in bullying Shouko Nishimiya following the leak, Miki exposes Xiaoya Ishida's past to the students, who were oblivious to it. Later, she attempts to apologize to the group, but Xiaoya Ishida blows everyone off after Naoka remains dismissive. Meanwhile, Shouko Nishimiya and Yuzuru Nishimiya's grandmother died peacefully. To cheer them up, Xiaoya Ishida takes them to the countryside and sees that Shouko Nishimiya blames herself for everything that has happened to him. Xiaoya Ishida decides to devote his entire social life to the sisters. During a fireworks festival, Shouko Nishimiya goes home under the guise of finishing homework. Xiaoya Ishida follows when Yuzuru Nishimiya asks him to get her camera. As he arrives, he finds Shouko Nishimiya standing and preparing to fall from the balcony. Xiaoya Ishida succeeds in grabbing her and pulls her back up but falls into the river below. He is rescued by his former best friends in elementary school but slips into a coma. Hoping to help Xiaoya Ishida, Shouko Nishimiya meets with each group member to explain her and Xiaoya Ishida's situations. One night, Shouko Nishimiya dreams about receiving a farewell visit from Xiaoya Ishida. Horrified, she runs to the bridge and collapses in tears. Xiaoya Ishida, awakening from his coma, stumbles to the bridge and finds her there. He apologizes for how he treated her, asking her to stop blaming herself, and admits that, while he once considered ending his own life, he has since decided against it. Xiaoya Ishida then asks her to help him continue to live, to which she agrees. When Xiaoya Ishida returns to school, he is reunited with his friends and comes to understand how much they still care for him. The friends go to the school festival together, and Xiaoya Ishida manages to look people in the eye again as he envisions the X marks fading away. Looking around at his family and friends he has made, Xiaoya Ishida tears up, knowing he has finally redeemed himself. And that's all for today, guys. Stay tuned to get more new videos. Stay safe and keep watching.